Is Ukraine just a battleground, or a pawn in a global power game? Is this war really about borders, or is it a secret battle between superpowers? The truth behind the Russia-Ukraine war is deeper than you think. Let's uncover the reality. The Russia-Ukraine war is not just about two countries fighting over land. It's a complex conflict rooted in history, politics, and global power struggles. Some believe it's Russia's attempt to rebuild its lost empire, while others see it as a US-led proxy war to weaken Russia. But what if the truth is somewhere in between? Let's break down the real reasons behind this war, step by step. To understand this war, we have to go back centuries. Ukraine and Russia share deep historical ties. Ukraine was once part of the Russian Empire and later, the Soviet Union. But in 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed, Ukraine gained independence. Russia never fully accepted Ukraine's separation. In Russian President Vladimir Putin's eyes, Ukraine is not just a neighboring country, it's part of Russia's historical and cultural identity. Fast forward to 2014, Ukraine's pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych was overthrown in a pro-Western revolution, known as the Maidan Revolution. This was a turning point. Russia saw it as a US-backed coup and responded by annexing Crimea, a strategic region that had been part of Ukraine. Since then, tensions never cooled down. One of Russia's biggest fears is NATO expansion. After the Cold War, NATO, a Western military alliance led by the US, kept expanding eastward, adding former Soviet countries like Poland, Latvia, and Estonia. Ukraine also wanted to join NATO, which Putin saw as a direct threat. Imagine if Russia placed missiles in Mexico or Canada. The US wouldn't accept that. Similarly, Russia didn't want NATO weapons near its borders. Putin warned the West multiple times, but when Ukraine kept moving closer to NATO, Russia saw war as the only option. Many experts believe that this war is not just about Ukraine, it's a proxy war between the US and Russia. What is a proxy war? It's when powerful countries use smaller nations to fight their battles indirectly. US involvement. Since the war started, the US has provided over $100 billion in military aid to Ukraine, including advanced weapons, tanks, and intelligence support. Russia's view. Russia argues that the US is not helping Ukraine for peace, but rather to weaken Russia and expand its own influence. Energy and economy. The war also benefits the US economically. Europe, which once depended on Russian gas, is now buying American energy at higher prices. So, is this really about Ukraine, or is Ukraine just the battlefield for a much bigger war? This war is affecting the whole world. Economic crisis. Food and energy prices have skyrocketed due to the war. China's role. China is watching closely, as tensions between the US and China over Taiwan could lead to a similar conflict. Future of Ukraine. Will Ukraine ever join NATO? Or will it remain a war-torn nation, stuck between Russia and the West? The world is changing, and this war is shaping the future. Conclusion. What's next? So, is the Russia-Ukraine war really about freedom and democracy? Or is it a chessboard where the US and Russia are playing their moves? One thing is clear, this war is not just about Ukraine, it's a global struggle for power. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Is this a fight for independence or a US proxy war against Russia?